Dub is one of the illest music producers and composers in the game.
One of the dopest ever to do it, man.
Compose for film and television, produce music, write songs, multi-instrumentalist.
From Bad Boy all these years, I mean, the man is a beast with it, you know what I'm saying? The hit man. Yeah, you already know, Bad Boy, baby. What, 200 million records sold, something like that. One of the most gifted individuals, I mean, musically, as a producer, as a man, as a father, as a friend. He's one of the best piano players I've ever heard in my life.
Welcome back to CBS Detroit. We're continuing our Black Music Month celebration. And as you heard, this man has quite the resume. Joining us is producer, writer, musician, and so much more, Mr. Jeff J-Dub Walker. Good morning. It is so nice to have you here with us.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I am blessed. I'm great. I'm great.
Awesome, Jeff. Okay, so we just heard so much about you, and we know you have this extensive resume. Can you just talk to us about how you got your start in the music industry?
I got my start. My grandmother, she noticed that I can play the piano at a very early age, maybe like 6 or 7, right? So immediately she put me in piano lessons. Like she saw the gift, and immediately I was thrown into piano lessons. So by time of age 9, 10, I'm holding down whole church services, in the D. So if you know anything about church in the D, you got to be able to play to hold down a whole service.
Yeah.
So from there, I played for every community choir. We had a huge community choir there in Detroit. Word of Praise. What up, Doe? Word of Praise. Love y'all. Huge community choir. Chris Jones, my dear friend, he passed away. We had a huge community choir, like a Kirk Franklin thing, right? So, and we were all young adults, like 15, 16, just having fun in church. Like we was Kirk Franklin on steroids back then. So I just thought that, that we were just going to do gospel, and I was having the time of my life. I was playing with the church, but God had other plans, right? So, looked up after high school. I ended up, long story short, I ended up in Atlanta with a great songwriter, Eric Crawford. We went to Cass Tech together. And back then we were doing demos.
And playing for the church, how has Detroit culture influenced your sound?
Detroit culture has influenced my sound greatly. I'm a product of the Mighty Mars Clark Conservatory of Music on West 7 Mile. That's where I studied at. And Twinkie Clark was my organ teacher. Yeah. So I learned from one of the greatest organists of all time, right? So, of course, the Clark sisters influenced my sound huge. So much so I went on to produce half of Faith's second album, right? It was like I was out of high school, then it was like my first huge project was Faith. And if you know anything about Faith and the Clark sisters, they can sing and they have that gospel thing about them. So gospel commission, the Winans, Thomas Wilfield, Oscar Hayes, Detroit is a huge part of my sound. Yeah, definitely. Motown, Marvin Gaye, all of the greats influenced me from home, right? So I was able to, carry that over into this, to the secular world as well.
That's pretty incredible. And Detroiters love Aaliyah, and that's an artist you worked with. How does it feel to have produced her last album?
Oh man, I'm blessed, honored, and humbled that I was able to work with such an incredible spirit, such an incredible soul. She was definitely legendary. And it was just a blessing to work on that project because I was able to work on that project all around the world. We worked on that project from New York, Chung King Studios in New York, to Music Grinder Studios in California, Hollywood, which was like headquarters. And then from there, we finished it off in Australia, Melbourne, Australia. We were there for about a good month and a half, right? In Melbourne, Australia, because she was shooting Queen of the Damned, and Virgin wanted the record done at the same time. So they were like, well, shit, fly everybody out to Australia and finish the album. So that was a lot of fun as well.
I'm sure you had some great memories as a result of that. Jeff, I got to know, what does Black Music Month mean to you?
Wow. Black Music Month means to me um, everything, because music to me is the universal language of the world, right? You don't have to speak um, the same language, but you can play a piece of music and everyone will have the same emotion, right? So to be able to be a conduit of that, and plant my seeds, across the world is a blessing. So to have a whole month to celebrate that is pretty dope. It's pretty dope. But I
And
celebrate it every day, right? But yeah, for the whole world to do it 30 days, hey, maybe next year we'll have 2 months.
and it's definitely something worth celebrating. And Jeff, we spoke about Aaliyah. You're going to play some of her music. We want to hear that now. I'm
Okay.
excited.